So hello YouTube, my name is Marie and I asked you guys over on my Instagram about 2 to 3 weeks ago what kind of list video you'd like to see next. There was this one, which is like a part 2 of my least favorite tropes video. There was most disappointing K-dramas and favorite couples, I believe. And of the 15 people that voted, this video definitely won. We all love K-dramas. I'm assuming if you've found my channel, you also love K-dramas. So these are not like, you're awful for doing this. It's more like, let's get better together. You really enjoy some of these plot devices. It's not an attack on you. Everyone can like what they like. Me personally, I just think I've seen these done too many times before, so it's a little bit tiring. First one is the time jump. Now, so time jumps can happen all throughout a series, and they can reboot the interest in the characters and the storyline. But for me, for this least favorite trope, I'm talking specifically time jumps that happen within the last episode. It just drives me mental. And whenever I watch a finale, a final episode, I'm actually sitting there crossing my fingers like, please don't have a time jump. Please don't have a time jump. Because like, I personally, I don't care. It's not that I don't care. It's that I really like to allow my own imagination to fill in the gaps. Like, I think if you've written a good story that has good closure, you shouldn't have to do a time jump 6 months or a year into the future to show what your characters are up to, because if the viewer feels like complete and feels satisfied by the story you've told, you shouldn't have to do that. You've gone through whatever you've gone through with your characters, and finally there's a resolution. But you don't see enough of the conclusion in the moment. They're like, okay, it's done, concluded, time jump. Now you see them later, and I'm like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I wish that those extra minutes were spent in the moment and not in the future, because then I feel a little bit disconnected for some reason. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about the infamous accidental kiss. Does this one really need an explanation? Tell me right now if you've ever accidentally kissed someone. I'm waiting. Go ahead. You can tell me. I want to know the whole story. How did it happen? Did you guys trip on each other? And once your lips touched, did you freeze? Did you were like, like, I don't understand the purpose. I think it's ridiculous. Nobody's ever done that. And if it is an accidental kiss, it's probably more of like cheeks smushing together. And to be fair, I think that the K-drama industry has recognized that this is a little bit of a ridiculous plot device, because in recent years I haven't seen it very often. I think a show that does the accidental kiss incredibly well is The Best Hit, and that is because it's more of a comedy, and I think they're doing the accidental kiss as a satire, as like commentary on the trope, because it does it 3 freaking times in the whole series, and it's played for laughs every time. And they also comment on it. They also talk about how ridiculous it is that this keeps happening. So when it's more self-aware and you can like laugh along with it, then it's okay. But when it's taking itself way too seriously and there's like super climactic music and they're like, oh my god, they kissed, it's like, oh, come on, give me a break. Give me a break. Next is another K-drama staple, instantaneously falling asleep. Like, there's alcohol involved, I can like give the show more of a pass. But if they're just like hanging out on the couch and then a character yawns, I'm like, that he's gonna fall asleep or she's gonna fall asleep. And then there's a big confession. There we go. And it's so predictable at this point. It's either that they like truly did just fall asleep and it's just the other character spilling their guts to this unconscious person, things that you as the audience already know, or they don't actually fall asleep and then they hear the confession and it's just like, frankly, if you're falling asleep like that when there's no alcohol involved and you were wide awake a second ago, maybe a yawn, that's actually a medical condition and you should go to the doctors. In my first least favorite tropes video, I did mention like the fated to love each other or like childhood friends thing, and I just want to re-emphasize how done I am with that. It just seems like every show lately has some sort of childhood connection that becomes the main primary focus, even though that's not what you signed up to watch. Okay, let me know down below if you agree with any of my least favorite tropes, if you actually really love the ones that I am not a fan of right now. Let's just keep the discussion going, shall we? Have a good day, have a good night, bye.